Hai, oke, selamat malam. Eh, dan hari ini kita ada IG Live lagi. Dan aku mau sambil tulis judulnya. Judulnya adalah lu kayaknya gendutan deh, oke? Kasih aku waktu sebentar ya untuk nulis judulnya di sini. Em, oke. Ups. Oke, aku udah tulis judulnya. Thank you. Dan welcome untuk teman-teman yang udah hadir di sini. Dan kita sebentar lagi akan sama-sama ngobrolin soal topik hari ini, yaitu bagaimana kita dealing with gimana emotional journey kita mengenai tubuh kita, mengenai makanan, dan juga seperti apa sih makanan atau pola makan, pola hidup, pola diet ya mungkin cocok buat kita. Bagaimana kita bisa menumbuhkan self love terhadap diri kita dan tubuh kita melalui makanan kita, melalui diet kita. Jadi sementara kita akan sama-sama dengar dari temanku, namanya Simran. Dan Simran ini adalah seorang aku nggak konsen, sorry, karena tadi ada yang nongol di di sana. Jadi adalah seorang yogi and also registered nutritionist. Jadi kita akan sama-sama dengar nanti sharingnya ya. Oke. Datang. Ya. Dan buat teman-teman yang sudah join, please kasih tau aku teman-teman datangnya dari kota mana dan ada di mana sekarang. Hai Simran.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's been a very long week, so it's quite nice to take a bit of a break with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just welcoming everyone who has joined, and yeah. So I've told them that Simran is a yogi and also a registered nutritionist. Jadi itu artinya you practice as a nutritionist, and itu kayak sama nggak sih sama dokter gizi gitu, or is it different?
Different.
So nutritionist is more like what?
More lifestyle based as well. Like Dr. Gizi is more, if I'm not mistaken, is more dietitian like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But nutrition is more like more holistic, more lifestyle.
More holistic, more lifestyle, and combined with yoga especially. So it's like the whole mind, body, soul concept.
Okay. Yes. Jadi buat teman-teman, karena Sim juga adalah seorang guru yoga, jadi it's like all combined, right? So nutrition and also body work. And
actually,
also
my purpose of yoga is not just the exercise. The reason why I believe so much in yoga is to slow down our lifestyles and to be more mindful. Yoga is one of the stepping stones towards that. So yeah. Because I find that we're always so busy, we don't know how to slow down. I'm one of them, and that's why I found yoga to have worked for me, because I'm like, okay, I'm slowing down without me realizing I'm slowing down.
Yeah, that's true. Well, okay, that's not the topic today, but then I agree with you.
I got carried away, sorry.
To explain more, like how I love that practice as well, but I just remember, okay, that's not the topic.
It's not our topic for today. Thank you so much for having me here today. To be able to share with all of you.
Yeah, I thank you. Yeah, I'm very happy. Yes. So the title is very interesting, right? So I have feedbacks from the title. Lu kayak gendutan deh. jadi aku pengen teman-teman coba tulis di kolom komentar. Pernah nggak sih terima kalimat ini? Pernah nggak dengar kalimat ini diucapin ke kalian? Terus rasanya gimana? Jadi pengen tahu, silakan coba tolong bantu aku untuk jawab di komentar. apakah pernah ngalamin. Aku sendiri pernah ngalamin dan beberapa kali of course, dan sesudah kayak karena periode corona ini juga jadi one day my friend picked me up after a few months, like right, not seeing each other, and the first sentence she told me was Mel, lu kayaknya gendutan deh gitu. And then I met her mom, and then that's also the first thing that came out from her mouth. So I guess it's kayak yang kita bilang kemarin, itu kayak bagi orang Indonesia itu udah hal yang otomatis keucap duluan, bukan kayak apa kabar atau gimana, apa yang kerjaan atau keluarga, tapi fisiknya kita gimana gitu.
Yeah, it's like us. It's very automatic for when you see someone, immediately you just have to comment on their appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to them, that's what it's worth. It's like 15 menit ketemu orang, and we believe them. We believe, and that scars a lot of people. It causes a lot of mental trauma, whether it's with their bodies, it's whether it comes out with a relationship with food. Itu yang paling penting for me, sih, because every time people have disturbed eating habits, it's because someone must have told them in the past that they cannot eat because they're fat or they're kurus.
Have you experienced that as well? Pernah nggak dibilangin gitu, Sam?
All the time. But the thing is, I learned not to let it bother me.
Kayak even like kayak you're not fat at all, right? Tapi kamu pernah digituin juga. Even.
This is honestly, I am not at my skinniest point.
Okay. So
like I was way skinnier in the past, but I was not happy. If you ask me if I was happy, I was skinny, yes. I was the ideal weight in my mind, yes. I was everything I had imagined I would be, but was I happy is the question. No.
Oh, okay.
Something was still empty within me.
Although you're skinny.
Well, although I was skinny and everyone was happy with the way I looked, but they always found something else to comment about. And I'm like, kayaknya this is never ending, ya.
Oke. Ini tadi ada yang bilang sebelumnya ada Danar yang bilang kebalikannya, biasa aja. Oke, thank you. Terus I think this is your friend, right, Maria?
Hi, Maria.
Ya. And ada Ajeng di sini yang bilang, Mbak Amel, nggak cuma lo gendutan yang nyakitin, lo kurusan, or kok nggak gemuk-gemuk segitu aja juga bikin sebel. Yes, ini juga bener banget, Sim. Jadi untuk orang-orang yang kurus, mereka juga kok kurus terus sih, atau kayak kok nggak gemuk-gemuk sih, itu juga nyebelin ya ternyata ya.
Of course, I was about to say, it's not just about kok gendutan aja, but it's also about, oh, you're so skinny, why aren't you gaining weight? Oh, we always have a need to comment either way. Whether it's beneficial or not, it doesn't bother the commenter, but it really scars the other person. Like aku ada yang pernah cerita ya, yes. The mom was telling me that her daughter is like 7, and the daughter is under, because dia selalu dibilangin that she's always underweight, she's underweight. She's 7 ya. Dalam satu hari she weighs herself 6 times a day. Berapa gram dihitung setiap hari?
Oh wow, 7?
Now, 7. She's 7.
Oh
7
no.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now you tell me, even if you're skinny, even if you're overweight, why, like, or even if you're in the chubbier side, it shouldn't determine someone's value. It's because of that we end up labeling someone because we put them into a category.
Yeah.
And then they feel like, okay, to be accepted, I need to be skinny. But
yes.
Yeah.
And that's so I guess this is a very important like highlight for everyone's hearing this, that your value does not come from your berat badan. Right? Yeah, and it doesn't have
comment, this is so funny.
Oh yeah, kurus tapi ada teman yang malah iri. Lu makan banyak gak gelut-gelut. Yeah, this is so true. Ya ada orang kayak gitu kan, dia kurus banget tapi kayak gila lu makan banyak banget gak gemuk-gemuk.
Absolutely, yeah. And the thing is, every body is different. Every person requires, or every person has a different resting like body weight. That's not like, yeah.
Ya, and then di bawahnya ada lagi nih Deviano. Tapi pocketnya nggak ikut gendut, gimana? Do you have a solution for that?
I think you need a finance expert here, not me.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is Elisa. Hai Elisa, pernah baru aja kemarinan pas ketemu paman dari pihak mama dibilangnya, ih kok makin besar ya? Cuma ya nggak gimana-gimana karena ya emang agak gemukan. Ya jadi nggak usah dimasukin hati aja. Oke, ya.
Absolutely, that's the key because like it's important to realize that you are not fat. Everybody has fat, but don't associate yourself with it. Like fat is not a bad thing, but if you want to work on it also, you are welcome to, but it's your relationship with it that matters most. And I think most people struggle with this, that you may say you accept it, but not many people do.
Yeah, yeah. I think this is like always a constant struggle, maybe for women mostly, I think, to be able to accept our body fully.
Men too.
Men too, yeah?
Yeah, a lot of my guy friends actually, internationally. Yeah, no, honestly, I was really surprised because I just thought it's a women thing, you know, but I actually had encountered so many male friends and they would come to me to talk about these things and I would be honored, but in my head I was like, oh my God, they actually have it worse. Who do they go to talk about these things?
Yeah.
It's like every guy wants to be broad shoulder, they want muscles, they want this, they want that. It's so much expectation on them and they have to be the keeper of the house, they have to feed everybody, they have to have this, they have to have you know?
Okay, so men, like we are, like we hear you, we look at you. Yeah, okay. But and then oh ya, Danar bilang, yes, kapan gue gemuk and badanku jadi atletis. Karena aku tahu orangnya, I know, karena Danar emang gak gemuk dan memang gak yang atletis gimana. I guess I think that's right. Because people judge the other person also, like a man, like we females sometimes even judge male based on the body as well, the appearance, right? Yeah.
I was about to say something really shallow. Who would not want a ganteng boy?
Yeah.
It's the same thing for a girl. Who would not want a chanty girl, you know? But sometimes you just sound so shallow. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yeah.
But it's true fact. It's human nature.
Okay, jadi gimana Sim untuk we know that it's human nature, but then how would we what's the best approach to, okay, maybe I want to, I acknowledge that maybe I need to work out or I need to, you know, eat better or something, but at the same time, not punishing myself or not hating my body.
It's about, I think, number one, building a good relationship with your body. It's about understanding that, okay, I want to work out, but I'm not working out to damage or kill my body, but I'm working out to make my body healthier. That's a different intention.
Yes. And ini ada lucu banget nih sih, yang ngeselin kalau ditanya hamil lagi katanya.
That's not nice. That's really not nice.
Yeah, that's not nice.
That's not nice. But again, we can't let someone we met for 15 minutes determine our value or our worth. The person we've been living with for your entire life, you're gonna let someone like you meet for 10-15 minutes be like, oh my God, am I really like this?
Yes. Yeah,
I really like this. I'm questioning you. Do you have a good relationship with yourself? If you don't, it will affect you.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a very good point because you talk, like, you asked me this question before, right? And I thought, wow, this is a very powerful question. Like, why would you want someone else who you just met for, 15 minutes? Or maybe your tante, you just met every, Chinese New Year? And to influence you in that way, right? Compared to yourself who've been living in this body for, 20, 30, 40 plus years. You've been living with this body, like, why would you not want to just give it the body and love the body and listen to someone else instead? Yeah, that's very true.
Like, everybody has their own journey. Sometimes you don't even know what conditions or underlying conditions the person has. They might have thyroidism. They might have, like, other issues that, you know, they're struggling with. Commenting like these, mindlessly may seem mindless to us, but to them, it'd be like mentally draining. And it's unfair because they're like, you don't even know what I'm going through. How, like, who are you to say these things, you know? And then it just brings the other person down.
Yes, yes.
Instead of us uplifting each other, there are other things we can talk about. So instead of firstly like commenting on the physical appearance, we can talk about how much value you add to life. Or, oh my God, it's so nice to see you again. Or, you know, how much joy you bring into the room. There's so many things we can talk about, but it's just a matter of habit, right? It's so much easier to come up with a negative compliment or criticism than it is to give a positive compliment.
Yeah, and I really like what you mentioned before about anger to a child. Do you want to explain that? Because I really like that analogy that you,
So the analogy was, when you're exercising, exercise with your body as a friend. Imagine this like as if you're talking to a child. If you're about to get angry, what space are you doing it from? Are you doing it from a space of frustration because the child didn't do what you expected? Or are you doing it out of love for the sake of the child's growth? There's two different intentions.
Yes.
It's the same information, just communicated with like this different intentions. And the other person does feel it. The other person does like pick it up. Imagine if you're rejecting something and I'm trying to think of an analogy. Okay, imagine there's something coming at you, and instead of going with it, you're going against it. How are you supposed to work with it? You know?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with our body. If you want to exercise, sure. Decide that, make sure you choose to exercise to keep your body healthy, not to abuse your body to make sure you fit into a size that you've dreamt of. Yeah, you can fit into that dress that you've dreamt of, but do it at a pace where your body is happy.
Yeah.
But at a pace where your body agrees with you. And the more you agree with it, it's easier to dance in the rain rather than go against the waves, you know?
Yeah, and I think you also mentioned about if you imagine that you are angry with a child, then and how would the child feels like, right? And then if you know how the child will feel, you'll know how your body actually will feel. Yeah, like
it's like you're talking to your inner child.
Yes, and the body, like there's a book that say that the body keeps score, right? So the body, the body keeps score. The body knows. The body listens to your words.
Absolutely. You know, there's a book, I can't remember where I read this, but there are different part of your body. I'm sure, I think it's traditional Chinese medicine. Different part of your body stores different emotion. For example, if you're stubborn, your knee, like people with knee aches, normally it's because it's associated with a stubborn nature of theirs. Or people with like curvy thighs is because they've had not a good relationship with one of their parents. Those with liver issues is because they've stored so much anger in their body. So your body is like a bank, you know? It stores everything without you realizing.
Yes. Yeah.
And so sometimes I was just talking to you about this yesterday. It's like, how much self-love do you really have for yourself? And it's about understanding how to build self-love, how to build a relationship with yourself, which is just purely love. Yeah, correct. As the Louise Hayes, You Can Heal Your Life book. There you go.
Yeah.
It's actually a free PDF online for those who want it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Simran, how would we link this to people? Say, for example, maybe we need to acknowledge that. Okay, maybe actually I do eat too much, for example, right? Then, and maybe I do need to actually do workout and not just sleeping or lazing around. And I agree with you that we need to come from a place of self-love instead of judging and punishing ourselves, because I think the more that if it doesn't come from self-love and it's just like punishing and blaming ourselves because we hate the body and all that, it's like maybe is that a cause of like a yo-yo diet? Maybe you think so, or is there any connection?
with yo-yo
kayaknya?
diets.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
I mean, like, yeah. Can
It's
you
because
explain more?
because someone convinces you that you're not good enough. So you think, okay, let
Mm.
me try shrink as quickly as I can, and then you deprive yourself out of like
Yeah.
carbohydrates, sugar, this. It's a whole list. Whatever diet you want to do, you do, and then suddenly you realize, crap, this is not sustainable, and then you gain it all back. And like there's a
Mm.
recent study that showed the Biggest Loser participants 15 years later, they gained 75, like they gained 2/3 of it back.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
So
Okay. So,
sometimes our body cannot handle such shock. So it's better to do it like consistently over a longer period of time, but make sure you put that weight off. And it's about learning about a lifestyle, not just
mm,
like, okay, I just need to drop that weight, that number down. You can just,
mm.
I'm not going to use brands, but you can drink a soft drink every day and still lose weight. As long as you're in calorie deficit. Yes, of course you can. I had one of my friends in uni do that, and I thought it was very ironic. And I'm like, dude, we are studying nutrition. And she was just like, I
Yeah.
just gotta lose weight, and I love soda, so I'm just gonna drink a soda every day and not eat. And she did lose the weight, but she was sick.
Ah.
She used to drink a can of Coke every day. That was her
Wow.
meal.
Wow.
She did lose weight, but what was the quality of her life? She was always sick. She was always sleeping. She was like, her body couldn't function properly. She couldn't exercise. So it's about
Yeah.
adopting a healthier lifestyle that you can sustain for a
Yeah.
longer period of time, where it's flexible. Like I follow the 80-20, absolutely traumatizes the body because the body goes
Yeah.
into shock, doesn't know how to handle it. So I follow the 80-20 rule. Stick to your clean eating or healthy eating for 80% of the time. 20% of the time, feel free to enjoy. That way you're balancing. You're not depriving your body of anything. If you're craving, you're satisfying it. Because if
Okay.
you deprive yourself,
Yes.
you're always thinking about it. If I tell you,
Yes.
don't eat
Yes.
chocolate. Even
I
if you
will.
don't
I
like
will
chocolate,
pray for
you're thinking
that.
of chocolate.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, like when we say 80-20, I was a bit relieved, you know. I was like, you know, that day, I was like, oh, okay, that's possible.
Yeah, because there's no perfect diet.
Yes, yes. So 80-20 is like, oh, my mind will say, this is feasible, you know, like I can do this.
Absolutely. And langsing, you're on board to do it, right? Which is a great thing because like sustainable living, healthy living is not that hard. It's just that we overcomplicate it because we want instant results.
Yeah. So before we talk more about the 80-20 and eating healthy, all that, can you explain more about how people or how we do emotional eating?
How we do emotional eating is that it triggers a energy center in our brain, like how any form of addiction or addictive things does to our minds. So it triggers like that feeling, that rewarding feeling, that it feels so good, give me more, give me more. You know, it's like we seek for that. So it actually alters our brain mechanisms. That's why you always say, even though you're full after dinner, you will always say, I have space for dessert. Because you like the pleasure, reward center in your mind has not been it's not been activated yet.
Yeah. So
and that's why they suggest whole food plant-based diet. I'm glad you brought it up because a whole food plant-based diet does not alter any mechanisms in our mind.
Oh, please explain more. How would that? Yeah, I mean, like I don't know that like whole. I don't know how it will, you know, how it connects to one to another.
Because what has happened is, as time has evolved, the way foods are processed together, the combination of fat, sugar, and carbs. Was it carbs, fat, sugar, and carbs? Yeah, I think so. So what tends to happen is, okay, now let me ask you. Let's say martabak or roti bakar.
Yeah.
Roti bakar, yeah?
Martabak.
Okay, martabak better.
I like martabak better.
Sure. I was like looking for an analogy that you would like. So let's have the martabak, the pancake alone. How much pancake can you eat alone? Tanpa keju, tanpa butter, tanpa apa-apa. Just
maybe just one.
But if you champur with chocolate and the butter and everything, how much can you eat?
2 or 3.
Yeah, so it's the same like bread and butter. How much bread can you eat alone? How much? Now, if I give you the whole seres and keju together, how much of that can you eat? Not much. But when we combine it together, we can
Yes.
eat more, because that whole combination triggers the dopamine center in our minds, in our brains.
Oh,
Want more,
okay.
to want more. So it's like when you have roti sendirian, yeah, okay, I can't eat so much. But if you put chocolate, then I want more.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah.
and if you give you chocolate sendiri, yeah, okay, I'll have a little bit, but I can't eat as much. But if you
I
put
know.
them
Yes.
together,
Yes.
you can eat like
Yes.
3-4 slices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's about food combining.
Okay. So how would the whole food plant-based thing can help with this, with the emotional
Honestly,
eating? Yeah.
it's not just about emotional eating, but with emotional eating, the reason why we eat emotionally is because we are running away from something and we're taking it out of us.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So instead of going to food to find that release, that, to get that dopamine center, to feel happy, why are you unhappy is the question that you have to seek in things. It's the same like smoking a cigarette or drinking alcohol. It triggers the same, or any form of addiction for that matter. It gives you that sense of pleasure. So why are you seeking that sense of pleasure?
Okay.
I would reverse it now. Like, do you see what I'm doing? I'm reversing it. Like, why are you seeking pleasure? There's something that you're unhappy about, that you're trying to cover it up through food.
Yeah.
Filling your tank of self-love to make sure you recharge that tank.
Yeah. And I totally agree with you. I mean, like for me, I can really sense if my if my mood is good and I'm happy, I will not go look for the junk food. Yeah, I can see that pattern. But like if I kind of like bad mood and tired and just don't want to deal with people, then I'll go look for like the unhealthy food.
You want a quick relief or instant release?
Yes. That's
but there are other ways of doing it. Like yoga really, really helps with that, because it builds your mind-body connection. It improves your mind-body connection to understand what is it actually that's going on. What am I unhappy about? What do I need to fill? Which tank do I need to fill? If I don't think I'm loved, how does eating chocolate make me feel like I'm loved? Doesn't change the fact.
Yeah, but like for this to happen, I think the first thing that anyone should have is the awareness, isn't it? Like to actually like
awareness and acceptance. Two things: awareness and acceptance.
Yeah. Awareness and accepting it. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna share some fun self-love activities that we could do. One of the things is this is gonna sound silly. Every time you go to the bathroom, give yourself a compliment. Look into the mirror, look into your eyes, and give yourself a compliment. So every time you go to the bathroom, do that.
Okay.
Because that assures you that you are enough, you are full of love, you are loved. Basically, most people act out of two places. There are two voids that we need to fill. One is, I am enough, and one is, I am loved.
I am loved, you say? Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
So once we are able to fill those two jars, we don't need external factors to reassure us. So that comes from positively affirming to ourselves that, yeah, dude, you're actually quite awesome.
Yeah. So like everyone's hearing this, like you guys should try. Like I will try.
Please give it a try. Or even just say, hey, like, hey, look at that good looking. Like, hey, I'm so awesome. Like, hey, look at that. Have fun with it. No one is seeing you. No one's judging you. Do this for yourself.
Yeah, like I like this remind me of something back when I was younger.
Yeah.
I think I had a boyfriend who like asked me to go in front of a mirror and then tell me stuff about myself which were good. Like like look at your
your boyfriend made you do that?
Yes.
That's awesome. You have an awesome boyfriend.
Awesome, right? Yeah. He asked me to go in front of a mirror and he started telling me, like, look at your body, like you have this and like you look sexy and all that. And like that really boosts my confidence.
So technically you don't need him to do that. He was just there as a guy.
It's something true. That's true.
You know what? That was my second exercise. So it's after the shower, stand in front of a long mirror, look into your eyes, and just say something you say to your loved one. What would you say if it was your child, if it was your partner? You know, like it's like, what would you say to a loved one when you're like flirting with them? Like, say it to yourself.
Yeah.
It sounds so weird. Like, oh my God, I'm going to be like, everyone's probably judging me right now. But at the end of the day, this is for you. If you are not full.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you in this. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you are not full, you can't share. If you are, you don't feel loved, you don't feel enough, you don't feel whole, there's no way you can make someone else feel the same.
Yes.
That's what I have come to realize.
Yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you, Sim. So, Ika di sini, that's the word. I am loved, I am enough. Yeah, you can repeat those words, right?
Not just that, you know, you can even write it on your mirror. I did that with like, when I was at my lowest point or whatever, like I was really struggling. So what I did was I took lipstick and I wrote it on my mirror and I left it there. So every day, even if I don't believe it, I see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you're getting ready, subconsciously it's there. And eventually you keep believing it, and you're like, oh wow, this is actually amazing. And a lot of people actually practice this with their kids. You will see the major difference in their lives.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is very, very, very important. I think even if you have kids, like you can teach this to your children. Yeah.
Self-love.
Yeah, it reminds me of something else as well, Sim, you know. Sorry, you want to say something? You want to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, it just remind me of something like a youth camp, I think I had when I was younger, like much younger again. So, you know, like we were in a large group, right? And then there's this coach suddenly out of the blue asks us, like, if you feel like you're pretty, stand up.
What?
Yeah, if you feel like you are, like if you know that you're beautiful, stand up.
And then?
And then no one's standing up. I did stand up though, but I was shocked because there's no one standing up.
I wish to give all of them a hug.
Yeah, but that was what? Like a long time ago, right? Like I was 19. So that was a long time ago. But then I was a bit embarrassed because, you know, like, oh my God, like I'm the one standing, you know, because I'm not saying that I just feel like I doubt myself at that point, you know, because am I bad for acknowledging myself because there's no one actually standing up? Yeah, but I mean, teenagers, right? So sometimes we have this worry
that's the point we need to believe in ourselves the most, because that's the point we doubt ourselves the most.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I'm glad because I had that kind of experience as well in life, so that like things remind me of, you know, every time I look at myself, it reminded me of, oh yeah, I mean, like you've been, you have the experience. Okay, so
we got off track there. It's okay. We're enjoying this. That's okay.
And this is my note, and where am I? but that was good. That was very good. And I think everyone has to.
Why don't I have an exercise for everyone? Why don't you write one affirmation you would like to share that would be the most beneficial for you? What's one thing? So just comment in the chat box below, and we will have a look.
Yes, yes. Self-love is not egoist. Self-confidence is okay. Yeah.
Come on, we want to hear from the other 15 people. Do share. What affirmation would you be able to share? So just gives other people ideas to be like, oh, hey, I could say this too. Oh, hey, you know, like this is an option as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we underestimate the power of like affirmations. It takes four positive affirmations to offset one negative one. So imagine if there's one negative one, let's say, look at you kayaknya gemukan deh. You have to counter that with 4 positive affirmations. 4.
Yeah.
You have to say you're awesome, Dan. You're the sexiest person you know. Oh my God, dude, you're so cool. I don't know. 4 simple affirmations to convince yourself, to make yourself believe.
Ya, jadi silakan teman-teman.
Please put in the comment box below. We'll come back to it while we continue.
Yes, silakan ditulis di komennya. Kalian mau ngomong apa ke diri sendiri? Afirmasi apa yang pengen diucapkan ke diri sendiri? Jadi latihan setiap hari mungkin untuk diucapin. Apa kata-kata yang kayaknya kita perlu dengar? Ya nggak sih? Kayak kita tahu kita perlu dengar ini. I'm fresh. Oh, Sonia said I'm
So
fresh.
nice. That's so nice.
Yeah.
It's like we wait for a loved one to tell us that, but why can't we tell ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Silakan yang lainnya boleh tulis juga. Well, like we'll be coming back to this, right? And yeah. So Sim, I'd like to ask you more about the plant-based diet and how we can incorporate that into our life. Like, apakah semua orang perlu sebenarnya? Apakah semua orang perlu go plant-based, go vegan? Ada nggak sih orang yang justru bagusnya nggak gitu?
Honestly, each individual is different. Now, are you talking about plant-based or vegan? Because those two are two different things.
Oh, how would you differentiate them?
Vegan does not necessarily mean plant-based. Plant-based means plants, fruits, and vegetables, and natural sources of food first, and then everything else comes later. So you fill your body up with that, and then everything else comes later. So if you want to, like, let's say, instead of focusing on a steak, or instead of focusing on yam or daging, your focus shifts to plants and like fruits and vegetables.
So if you do plant-based, you still eat the other stuff, like the meat and all that?
You want. It's an option, but it's minimal. So your main focus of your food is fruits and vegetables. So it doesn't mean you have to be vegan. You can still drink milk. You can still eat your meat and have your eggs, fish, whatever it is that you want to have. But surround your main source of energy, your main source of fuel should still be fruits and vegetables.
Okay. I think I'm going to read this first. Hi, Steph. Thank you. I'm beautiful. Yes.
You are beautiful. Yes. Say it like you mean it.
Yeah.
So nice. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to plant-based. Veganism, like, for example, Indonesian diet is 70% vegan. Nasi segini banyak, lauk segini, and sayuran. So technically, rice is vegan.
Okay, so I think my question is not about plant-based then, about vegan. Apakah orang emang perlu vegan? Ada nggak orang yang malah bagusan don't go vegan gitu?
Honestly, that depends on personal choice. I'm biased towards whole food plant-based diet. I believe that whole food plant-based diet is the way forward, but veganism is a personal choice. Ideally, it's like you will feel better if you go vegan, but it depends on what you're eating and your reasoning behind it, because it does require a lot of effort. Like, I believe in veganism myself because that works for me. But what may work for you is different. What can sustain you is different. For me, on an energetical level, I feel that I'm sufficient, like I'm getting sufficient from a vegan, like, simple diet.
Okay.
But vegan may not necessarily be healthy. So there's a whole, that's why I go to whole food plant-based rather than veganism.
Okay. So vegan is a choice, but whole food plant-based is the way to go.
Yes, because eventually you will realize how your body feels once you start cutting back all the animal products. Once you start cutting back on dairy, you will find your body feeling less inflamed, less lethargic. But again, it's not something we can force someone to be vegan.
Yes.
Being vegan is great, don't get me wrong, especially with the options we have now.
Yes.
It's incredible. Totally. But bear in mind, it's a lot of processed stuff.
Yes.
Because they process fake meat. Like, you have every type of possible fake meat. You want prawns, you want fish with the skin, you want beef, you want everything. It's there.
Everything. Yes, I know. Yeah. Jadi if kita tahu misalnya Sim, kita mungkin beneran sesuai judul ya, misalnya beneran nih gendutan, or beneran nih kurus gitu kan. Then we know that we want to be better because we love ourselves. We want to exercise. We want to eat right. So what's the first thing that you can tell us if we want? Okay, I know this is where I want to go.
So I'll give you two things actually. Number one, if you're looking to lose weight, make sure you have like it's easier said, but there are a lot of factors that contribute to weight gain and weight loss. But just make sure you are, let's say, eating less than you are, like burning essentially, like in a calorie deficit.
Okay.
And if you eat natural foods, you'll naturally feel full for longer, since it takes a lot more, right? Like a bowl of, let's say, beans versus something else, like a slice of cake. Like the calories are different. This one will make you feel full for longer. You won't be craving as many things because you're fulfilling all the nutritional needs in your body. So by going whole food plant-based, you are satisfying all of those, well, not hunger pangs, but sometimes our body has cravings because we're not filling the nutritional, we're not feeding it the right nutrients. Yeah. So because of the nutritional deficiencies, your body goes into craving mode. It's telling you it's craving this, it's craving that, because our body actually needs it.
So what is whole food actually? Sorry,
whole food is like whole grains instead of refined white flour. So it's like whole grains, brown rice, quinoa, sorghum, barley, couscous. There's so many different types of whole grain food. So basically we're avoiding the processed.
Okay.
Swaying towards a more natural source, which is higher in fiber, higher in the nutrients, and
okay. Jadi the first thing is if we want to lose weight, then kurangin makan, ya kan, udah pasti. Kurangin makan, and then go for natural food instead of yang processed.
The trick is half your plate should be filled with sayuran. If you can remember that, and also how colorful is your plate. If you remember to have colors in your plate, you know you're getting in enough nutrients. So you don't have to timbang, oh ini segini, oh ini. No, that's not practical to me because you can't go out and about, you know. Like imagine you bawa timbangan kemana-mana, you're not going to do that. Let's be realistic.
Oke. Jadi sebenarnya dengan kita milih makanan yang natural aja itu udah membantu, udah helping us to not kayak nutrisi lebih terpenuhi, and then cravingnya jadi lebih kurang.
Yeah, and you will feel full. There's no way you can eat 3 bowls of beans. You will get so full, you're like, I can't eat anymore. And you will stop. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Because when you eat,
sorry?
When you eat things like martabak manis, you're just like, okay, I'll have one more slice. Udah kenyang tapi nggak apa-apa, one more slice. You know?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Kayak kalau kita makan yang kayak martabak or cake or cookies or chips gitu ya, itu kebalikannya kan. Kayak the more we have, the more we want more, and the more we want to get more and more. Jadi kayak, tapi benar ketika kita makan yang sayuran yang lebih natural, kayak udah cukup aja, kita nggak bisa nambah lagi juga. Iya. Oke, jadi kalau misalnya kita
and I'm not saying don't eat martabak, yeah. I'm just asking you, does your second bite or third bite taste as good as the first bite?
Sorry, gimana, Sim?
Does your second or third bite of martabak taste as good as the first bite?
No, only the first bite is the best, right?
There you go. Yeah. So eat a bite. No one's stopping you, but don't go eat a whole martabak.
Yeah.
Because you deprive yourself of it. Yeah. So 80-20 rule. So stick to your plan, whatever, 80% of the time, and give yourself some flexibility, 20%, you know? But don't go the other way around and be like eating cake every day 80% of the time and be healthy 20%. Yeah, it's not going to work. Like I always say, one salad is not going to make you lose weight. One donut will not make you gain weight. Take your pick and choose wisely.
Okay. Jadi kalau kita bisa simpulin, the first is we have to know the why. I think why are we experiencing this?
Yeah.
Have we actually loved ourselves? Do we appreciate and respect and love the body and accept it as it is? Itu mungkin pertamanya. We know the emotional dulu, why-nya, and then the more we can accept ourselves, I think it's like the easier we can. Yeah, benar banget.
Like treat your mind and your body like a child. How would you speak to a child?
Yes,
I don't think you go around abusing a child, being you're so bad, you're not good. What's going to happen to the child? The child's going to shut down. It's the same with us, you know?
yes. And
Like
that's what we've been doing to ourselves. Yeah, imagine that.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think it's good for us to kembali ke ini, balik ke pertanyaan. Oke, Steph di sini bilang, Sim, kalau lagi mensip, gue pengennya makan yang berasa banget kayak nasi Padang. Itu hormonal juga nggak sih? And is it okay?
Honestly, it is okay to have it. Just again, portion size.
Yeah.
Don't go eating
mungkin,
5 chickens. Eat like your normal meal, you know. Eat like how you would normally eat, but just don't.
Yeah, mungkin boleh makan nasi Padang, tapi jangan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I believe everything is in moderation. Like you want to enjoy something, enjoy it, but mindfully enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because if you say no nasi Padang, pasti kemikir setiap hari.
Kepikir nanti sekali
Why are
datang
you
langsung
thinking
balas
about?
dendam.
Exactly. Why are you constantly thinking about this? This is so unnecessary. Like my rule is
tomorrow I'll pray for nasi Padang.
Yeah, but if you've already exceeded your 20%, yeah, you gotta be disciplined with yourself if you want to see this. Like you have to cooperate with your body, not in a way where you're hating it, but in a way where, okay, I want to feel good and find your limit. Okay, after a certain point, I don't feel good. Okay, great. At least I know after like two something or whatever, I don't feel great. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I think what we talked about before, what you say before is the key, like awareness and acceptance.
Yeah.
Aware that we are doing this, aware that okay, aku lagi mens nih, kayak pengen makan, gitu kan. Aware dulu bahwa okay, we have the need and we can fulfill that need, but then and accept that we have that need, but then because we love ourselves and we can choose wisely, we can honor the body, we can honor ourselves by choosing wisely.
Like, how would you feel after eating padang? You might not feel that great. And if you're having your mens, you already might not feel that great. So do you want to put not feel that great together with not feel that great to feel great? It's like, huh? What? You might feel great for the moment you're eating it, but after that, you're like, you won't feel that great. And then what?
Yes.
So it's like, give yourself, your why should be bigger than anything. Like, why do you want to do this? Ask yourself. Don't just be like, oh, because I want to be skinny or fit on, like, let's say, reach a certain weight. Because once you reach a certain weight, reach a certain size, what's next?
Yes.
It's a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't know, right, where this kind of affecting us or you listening, but I hope that this will trigger
something,
trigger you to look inward, to look inside. What am I running away from? I think.
Yeah. What is it that I'm trying to fill? Do I feel like I'm not enough? Do I feel like I'm judged? Do I feel like I'm insecure? What is it that's actually driving you to feel this way?
And karena a lot I can see that a lot of people as well, ya Sim, kayak karena mereka from my clients sometimes I can see that karena mereka takut untuk punya hubungan sama cowok misalnya, then they just be ugly, like don't care about my look. Sometimes people can do that even, and they start eating more and then don't care about the appearance because they are afraid that they will get hurt by relationships.
But if you create that and if you allow that, it's about self-love first. So let's say if you're able to be happy on your own, someone being there or not being there, you'll still be happy. You might just be a bit happier, but it doesn't mean you'll be sad. It sounds easier said than done, but trust me, practice these things every day. It makes a very big difference. You won't see it that time, but 6 months from then, 3 months from then, you might see the difference. And you're like, I didn't realize something small in my day could simply change my outlook of myself, life, how life goes, and how I am, essentially.
Yes, and I totally agree, and I totally agree with you. So for that kind of behavior or pattern or client, I mean, like, there must be a wound there in the inner child, right? So it's best to actually talk to the inner child and
Yes.
fulfill that needs. Yeah, I
This is
totally
your
agree
field
with
of
you.
expertise, inner
Yeah,
child.
but I'm not. But the thing is, it's good to have this talk, right? So I can see from your point of
Yeah.
view as a nutritionist, and oh, like yeah, and I can even reflect on myself too. So it's really it's really good.
You know why?
Yeah.
The biggest reason why I say self-love, because once you've developed this love for yourself, you start honoring yourself more.
Yes.
You
Yes.
want to do things that make you feel more honored and feel well. That includes a form
Yeah.
of eating well. Why do you
Yeah.
choose to eat well? Because you love yourself so much, you know what it needs. You know that it's
Yeah.
not going to need chocolate cake, but it's okay to enjoy it, but doesn't mean it needs that as your source of fuel every day.
Yeah.
Once you
Yeah.
love yourself, you will start to respect that. And once you
Yeah.
start to respect that, your outlook towards everything changes. Not
Mm.
food, but
Mm.
exercise. You don't exercise to abuse. You exercise because you love your body, because you know that increases your energy. It makes you feel good, but you don't abuse it by doing 3 hours of workout every day. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because people who have obsession with food shifted to exercise, and sama aja, the problem is not solved.
Yes.
The problem is
Yes.
still there if you've taken it out on something else. Sometimes
Yes.
I find myself going down that rabbit hole again, and I'm like, no, come back out. Like catch yourself going downhill, and you're like, okay, hold on a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
What is it that I'm avoiding? It's because out of habit you're doing it.
Mm.
Like in the past, you're so habitual to eating this way, you're so habitual to exercising this way that you convince yourself it's good, but sometimes you're like, hold on a second. Does like doing HIIT training twice a day, does it make sense? And no rest in a week, does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Your body hurts, it needs rest. Go rest.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
this is very true. Ini bagus banget. Karena ini cuma shifting aja dari makanan ke exercise. It's still the same thing.
it's
Yeah.
still the same thing. So the underlying problem has not been addressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about coming back and recognizing what triggers what. Again,
Yeah.
once you start filling that self-love jar, things will start changing around you. How you do things, what you do, how you are with yourself, how you are with people, everything changes. Trust me on this one.
Yeah. Look at you. Like, buat yang nggak percaya, coba lihat Simran. Look at her and how like her energy, like, whoa.
No. Yeah, you make me so shy. I'm just sharing. That's something that's worked with me. That's like come a long way. Like one simple technique harus diingetin selalu, but you have to remind yourself. If you can't have a relationship with yourself, forget having a relationship with God. Forget having a relationship with a partner.
Yes.
Forget having a relationship with your parents or anybody for that matter.
Yes, yes, totally agree. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And I think if anyone wants to ask questions, feel free to tulis di comment. I think we can we'll be happy and Sim will be happy to answer your questions.
Yes, of course. And even after this, if you want to have a chat or anything, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to talk to you. You can also read more on my page, or even I've actually done a TED Talk about this. I don't know if you've watched it or not.
Maybe it's in your Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. It's called Eat, Pray, Nutella.
Yeah.
It's called Eat, Pray, Nutella because I used to love Nutella, but I became allergic to it.
You did?
It was actually, you know what? It was two things that were my guilty pleasures. Nutella and bami, tapi yang mentah.
Bakmi mentah yang kayak mimi itu. Yang kremes-kremes gitu.
Just normal like Indomie or Super Mie, dikremes, that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that used to be my guilty pleasure.
Wow.
And
You've come a long way.
I used to eat packets every day. When I'm stressed at night, it would be by my bedside. In my drawer, you'll find bakmi.
What? Bakminya?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you've come a long way, man.
A very long way. Honestly, I've come a very long way. So, I will tell you that it's been not an easy journey, but it's been worth it.
Wow.
And it all came down to learning how to have a good relationship with yourself and loving yourself. If you can't do that, no food can, no magical pill will, nobody will love you the way you will.
Yeah, from someone who eat bakmi in the bedside every day, jadi sekarang jadi kayak gini.
my God.
I used to eat
That's so cool.
one jar of Nutella or batmi. Either one.
One jar? What's one jar?
I used to go through one jar in like 2-3 days. That was it. Like,
what?
Yeah. And
wow.
forget.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
No,
so cool.
I was
Wow.
mad. Like, it's either I won't eat dinner, but I'll eat a whole cake for dinner. Or like, I'll not eat all day just to eat a whole cake. And then I'll go to the gym and go run for like 3 hours. Sampai jam 3 pagi. And the worst part was my gym was 24 hours. And I'm like, why? Now I look back and was like, why?
Yes.
I could go whenever. And the worst part was, let's say if we go out partying and you eat dinner late, party, I would be with my smartwatch to measure, okay, I have to exercise. Come on. I have to hit this many steps. I will start doing squats in the party. And aku nggak malu, I'll go do it in the corner. That used to be me, and I'm like, aduh, gila, man, what have I become? Am I happy? No. Are other people happy? No. But you're skinny? Yes. Then what? I was like, so what is the point of all of this?
Wow.
Yeah. It's like, what are you feeding? Like, what emotion are you feeding? Maybe because you didn't feel like you were enough. Maybe because you were stressed. Maybe because, so it's like identifying your triggers and then working with that.
Yes, totally. Wow, this is I think very karena kalau orang dengar ini, I mean like even me, I'm surprised. Tapi kalau orang dengar ini, then I think they can feel like, oh, there's a hope for me, you know?
I was really bad. Like, I'll tell you, I was really bad. Like, my friends used to lock my room and be like, dude, you cannot leave your room. And I'm like, no, I have to go to the gym. But I'll be like, I just had 2 packets of Indomie. And then I'm like, oh, I saw cake. Let me eat cake also. Why? Because lapar. Why? Because I did not eat all day. Because I tried to starve myself. And then what? Instead of eating vegetables, you're eating cake. And then you're expecting to feel good after eating cake, but you feel even more hungry. So you go eat Indomie. How does that help you?
Okay, this is very interesting. Okay, tadi aku mau baca lagi nih, Sim, Ika tadi bilang bahwa her affirmation is I deserve
to be loved. Yes, you do deserve to be loved. Loved by you. Loved by you.
You deserve it. As we all, terus bawahnya Glory.
They're talking about golongan darah. Honestly, I'm not a big believer on the blood group because there's a lot of study that's not clear on the actual benefits of it. But again, I always say, find something that works for you. Sekali makan bungkus. No, 2 bungkus, not 4. 2. Tapi yang mentah it's so good. Okay, now I don't want to eat Indomie.
By the way, I think we have come to the end of it. Wow. Udah mau jam 9, ternyata tiba-tiba.
Oh wow, this passed by so quickly. Yeah, so if you want to hear more about my story, I posted it there's a video on it.
That on the
TED Talk. Yeah.
We'll definitely have a look. Like even after this, I kind of interested on exploring more with you, but I'll think of because now I know like more inside story, which is very very funny. But yeah, I really want to thank you for sharing all this and your personal journey and also your wisdom, your light towards this.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, I mean like I'm very happy because it comes from you and you have this energy of spreading the good vibes and positivity. Yeah, I can really feel that. Yeah. and maybe you want to share more about your work before we finish, because maybe
a bit more about my work.
Yeah, maybe like if maybe they can contact you, right?
Yeah,
just
for sure.
DM me or something.
You can definitely reach out to me.
Want to consult or something.
Yeah. So if you want to consult, to have a chat, or if you have any questions or any queries you want to ask, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not gonna bite you. I'll probably send you Indomie. No, I'm kidding. I won't. I'll send vegetables. I'm not.
So and you have also. Yeah, sorry.
I will be as helpful as I can to you, and if I'm not the right fit, I'll also find someone to refer you to. So don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we come to the end of it. Thank you so much, Sim, and thank you so much, like
everybody.
everyone who has
Remember,
participated.
you are loved, you are enough, and you deserve everything you put your mind to. Thank you so much.
Thank
Amelia,
you.
for having me.
Sim. Good night. Thank you.